Hello everyone, and welcome once again. We are going to discuss pop culture. Firstly, we will be discussing about Nisha Khan's dance. So, she's a famous dancer, stage dancer, and social media personality. Sparked intense online controversy, and she's saying that a dance is basically halal, that is Islamically permissible.
अभी किसी ने मुझे एक मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर कम डांसर की वीडियो भेजी है जो कह रही है
मैंने यही कहती हूँ छोटा सा तरीका है आप वो संभाल लें इंशाल्लाह आपको अल्लाह ताला इज्जत देगा। एक तो मेहनत से डांस करना, ये नहीं कहना यार डांस ना करो जल्दी जल्दी पैसा पकड़ लूं, ये नहीं करना, ठीक है।
दिल लगा के करना है।
हाँ, यहाँ 50 वाला बैठा है, यहाँ 1000 वाला बैठा है, वहां 5000 वाला, सबसे पहले आप 50 वाले के पास जाए। उसका भी दिल है, 1000 वाले का भी दिल है और 5000 वाले का भी दिल है, चाहे वो गरीब है चाहे वो अमीर है। मैं ये बात नहीं सोचती। और मैं चाहे 50 भी पकड़ रही हूँ ना, मैं 10 बार स्टेप करके डांस करके जाती हूँ। वो कहते तू अपना हलाल करके लेती है, सर से पसीने करके लेती है। 50 वाला भी हो तो तू डांस करके आ रही थी, ऐसे भाग के नहीं पकड़ लेती तू।
Permissible, and there is a lot of controversy which is happening. So, my thought on this is that I don't believe dancing. There are some ways which may be deemed vulgar and they are more conservative in these things. However, I personally don't believe that dancing is wrong in that matter, in that sense. But I agree that the way we dance also matters. Like when I saw her video of the podcast, I didn't find anything wrong because I follow a different religion. But when I saw the way she danced, I found it a lot vulgar and more chapri, like more of a courtesan type act rather than a graceful dance. So, yeah, what the people are criticizing for her is right. And also, this is promoting objectification of women as we see throughout media. And when the women are doing that themselves, it is really sad. Now, the next issue. So, next is the Sahifa Jabbar haircut. So she's a model and actor. She faced bullying and backlash for cutting her hair into a short pixie cut. People are saying that she's unfeminine and a lot of things and double standards of society policing women. We see a celebrity coming in
सोशल मीडिया पे पोस्ट कर दी कि शायद अटेंशन मिले, तब भी बात ना बनी तो बाल छोटे कर दिए। समझ रहे हो ना, ऑर्डर्स चाहिए थे। और अब ये गंजी चुड़ैल बन के पाकिस्तान की सड़कों पे फिर रही है, जिसके बदले ये चाहती है कि इस पे कोई तनकीद भी ना करे। तो नहीं होता है। जब ड्रामे नहीं चले तो खुद ही ड्रामा बन गई और हमारी उडेसिटी लोगों से कंटिन्यूसली सरगोशियां करता है कि जो तुम कर रहे हो वो ठीक है, और फिर ये अपने आप को सोशल मीडिया पे जस्टिफाई करने
काम ही नहीं करने देते।
अच्छा, अगर इतना कंट्रोल, क्योंकि इनके सुकून अल्लाह ने उन कामों से रोका है जो तुम लोग सरेआम कर रहे हो, और फिर अपनी उन्हीं एक्शंस को जस्टिफाई भी करते हो। जब अल्लाह ने ही रोक दिया जिसने ये दुनिया एलजीबीटी वाले बेगैरतों को सबसे ज्यादा सपोर्ट करते हैं। इनका हर दूसरा मेकअप आर्टिस्ट यसु पंजू होता है, और इस कौमी लूट के अमल को ये लोग स्वीट समझते हैं। अगर नहीं है अपना अलग मुल्क बना लो, यहाँ से जाओ भाई।
thoughts for an interview. And my thoughts on this is that I don't believe women should look exactly like men or men should look exactly like women. Like excessive blurring of gender lines and don't support, because God explicitly forbids it both in the Bible and in the Quran. But ultimately, it's her choice. I believe cyberbullying should be faced. Like I do believe that she may look unfeminine, but it's her personal matter ultimately. It's her choice. And we should not be, bullying her. We can see that you can look feminine even in a short hair. And this type of extremist thinking is really prevalent in Pakistan and should be eradicated. You can check some of my reels regarding that. Now, with March, so it is basically a women's event. I've talked to you last time also. So people are criticizing it for its vulgar symbols and all. So I believe that Aurat March should not be abolished. It's not wrong, but advocate for women. But some things which they are promoting, I don't like it, because the idea that men can be women and men entering women's spaces is wrong. Already in a country where women's rights are at all-time low, very similar to Afghanistan, where even, there are more restrictions coming on women. And regarding that, so many things are happening. And about that, we are allowing this is wrong. Men claiming to be women, wearing makeup and all, entering in women's spaces. In a country where already women's rights are low, that does not make sense. And also mocking religion, mocking God, mocking women's uniqueness, motherhood, marriage is not the solution. Yes, women should have choices. But ultimate demonization of women's unique qualities so as to make her like men is wrong. As a conservative Christian, I definitely criticize some of the things, but do support Aurat March regarding minority rights and not bullying women because she sings, dances, or doesn't wear a hijab. So, yes. Now we'll be discussing about the Anne Hathaway third child controversy. So she is having a third child in the age of 44. This year she'll be a 44-year-old. So many people are criticizing her simply because she's, marrying late. So yes, we can see so many people are supporting her, yet there is criticism. So, uh, like this, and I will also show more of those. So, yes, can we not normalizing kids? Conservative influences are defending her, and here it's seeing how fertility actually changes your age. So, here she's saying that you can have your children within the range of 40 to 50 years old. However, it's a lot difficult. So my mother had me at age 28 in 2005, and at 35 years old, something, 34 years old in 2011 of my sister. So it's around a very normal age, and we can see it's a peak at 25. So my mother also did not have a child in this peak, but around this kind of range, and it's not wrong to do. But after you reach 32 or 35, we can see there is a decline in the rate of fertility. It is a natural body, and majority of women aren't in the position by their 40s, and you cannot spend like this on hormonal things, which is completely right. So I believe that it's okay to have a child and it's okay to normalize it. However, we must also not stigmatize marriage and motherhood, and we should recognize the differences. Next issue is about the Ananya Pandey dance. So recently she danced for the new movie, and she did this kind of steps, the ones which we do during stress. And the way she danced was really, really horrible. And even the hero, not. This would have been portrayed negatively, that would be okay. But this is viewed positive. Also, we know Bollywood has a long history of mocking Indian culture, and we can see it throughout the time. And this dance is, have Hindu origins and dancing and all. I'm not saying Christians should not dance to classical dance numbers, but we should be very, very careful. And also, this is such a beautiful art. I myself have done classical dance, like Kathak I have done in its standard. I know some things of Kathak and Bharatanatyam. They are so beautiful dances. And you can see many actresses like Hema Malini and Vajanti Mala, Aishwarya Rai dancing classical dances, and they do so beautifully. But here we are mocking. So, yes, that's really, really sad to see such people being normalized, and despite having no talent, these star kids are coming again and again, which irritates me. Next is the SPC women pastors thing. Here, that SPC firstly had lifted the ban around 2023 allowing women pastors, and here it's C. It's the sole authority for faith and practice. Like biblical law, First Timothy 2:12, a woman cannot preach, like be a pastor and teach men. And faith cannot legitimately function either as parameters for cooperation. So there is a huge debate, and majority voted in favor of banning women pastors. Now, I have personally mixed opinions, and it's having a formal ban on churches which allow women pastors. So here we can see yes to 61.45% and no to 38.3%. So my thoughts on these things is that Bible says it's discouraged for women to be pastors, but I don't believe it's a salvific issue. It's more of a natural law issue, and there are going to be exceptional circumstances where women have to preach. Now it's not, you know, like that in America or India, but in many countries like Nigeria or Iran, case applies. And I don't believe people should be, canceling churches, stop funding them if they have women pastors. Look, now if they are promoting woke doctrines and all, that is a different situation that I favor. But these are not woke and salvific issues. So I don't believe that should happen. And the ban on women pastors kind of itself was good and biblical, but I don't believe that church funding should be removed. So I think this is a morally gray area, and they should be, focused on more important. Now we will talk about the Dasha controversy. So So here we can see that $25,000 have been raised for Dasha, who fired and subjected to death threats after confronting a pair of Muslim women who instigated her and then began filming her response at a grocery store. And she's saying that Muslims are not belonging.
Islam is a terrorist organization, not a
you're
religion.
not educated
Not a
about
religion. I'm very educated on this subject. You're really not welcome in this state or this country.
You are wearing scrubs. You work with
It
people
doesn't
of all
matter.
cultures.
What matters is that you worship a terrorist who is a warlord, a pedophile. You need to leave. You're not welcome here.
We are
This is
welcome
not a
here.
Muslim country. This is a Christian country, and
Stop
you need to.
looking.
Here she's saying like that Texas is not a Muslim country and all. And she was fired in Texas in her own spa clinic, and there is a give send go. And my personal thoughts on people like her is that she is kind of wrong here. Now, I agree, many people, like namely Muslims and Indians, don't assimilate and don't adapt to the customs. Like, I'm not saying they have to be Christian, but they literally disrespect the laws of the land, and I've talked this so many times. And I believe that mass deportations should happen, scams should end, so many other things should be there. But I don't believe this should be there to unnecessarily bash people because they have come to the shopping mall when they have done nothing. Now, if they did do some things, but immediately blatantly saying this, yes, I don't support Dasha in this matter. If you would have confronted how terrorists doing, then that would have been a different situation. But this is wrong. Killing a person unnecessarily just because. Next is about the FIFA World Cup, where Noura Fatehi has been attacked again because she has been, singing in a Punjabi song, acting and dancing. People are saying this is Canada, not India. We don't speak Punjabi here. So here we know Canada.
Can explain to me, please, for the fucking love of all the fucking might of holy, how this is Canada's opening fucking ceremony. Last time I checked, we're fucking, we don't speak Punjabi or whatever the fuck that language is. We are not Indians. This is fucking Canada.
I believe that this is kind of wrong and unnecessary because Indians have been an integral part. Nora is a Canadian citizen of Moroccan descent. That's why she came there. And FIFA World Cup is not an America mega event where they expected to come dance. No, it is a global event. No, I agree. Primarily, Canadian songs should be sung. Then sung those songs. In Qatar, we didn't see explicit Arabic culture only. We saw Jungkook singing. We saw Nora there also. And yes, there's nothing wrong. She spoke Hindi there. No one batted an eye. So yes, this unnecessary thing should stop. And I definitely support Nora. She did nothing wrong. And not everything revolves around America is that whether Christians should do yoga or not. So many people are asking me this question again and again, which I'm going to address. So it is primarily a Hindu practice. It is a spiritual practice aimed to have physical benefits. I myself have done it. I've joined a yoga class. And I know there is a lot of spiritual things inside it. I don't believe it's inherently demonic, but I believe that yes, that is a counterfeit spirit, at least according to our religion. I respect everyone, but I believe that it's linked to a false god, and I believe generally Christians should not do that.
This is demonic possession, and today we're going to explain why this happens in yoga. This is a yoga practice. Those videos are
yoga for kids. Even the daycare near my house has a yoga session for little children, for toddlers.
In addition,
so my thoughts on yoga is that the poses or movements itself are deemed for the worship of those gods. However, I don't believe that moving like this or doing the movements itself I don't believe are wrong. As long as you're not doing with the intention of doing yoga. So I believe that you can do yoga poses in and of itself, or breath work in and of itself. It does have numerous physical benefits. However, if you're going to do with that intention of worshipping that god, then that is kind of wrong. And yes, you can stretch without yoga. Pilates is there and all those things are there. So my thoughts on yes and no is there's no definitive yes or no according to my own personal interpretation. And but I believe we should be discerning and we should not be doing anything there. Regarding yoga class, I personally believe that unless you're spiritually matured or generally you should not. Now we'll be discussing about the Crumbl Cookie brand. There is a recent new Crumbl Cookie drink coming. Now Crumbl Cookie is a Mormon found brand and there are no coffee and all. That's why they focused on cookies and so many things which are deemed delicious. There is the 821 calories drink, almost 300 grams.
Crumbl Cookie is now selling you a drink that is 186 grams of sugar. That's almost half a pound of sugar or 5 cans of Coke. They call this crazy cousins, and indeed you would have to be crazy or completely ignorant to drink 840 calories of liquid garbage. Crumbl is calling this the viral dirty soda, but the only thing that's dirty here is convincing kids and teenagers
have sugar in it. I think that such content should not be normalized, and we should be also not drinking it like rarely once or twice a year. That's okay, but not beyond that. And meal thali or some dish for a whole day will fulfill that much calories.
मस्त आइसक्रीम, बिरयानी, मटन थाली और जूस को मिलकर इतने कैलोरीज आ जाएंगे, इतने मस्त कॉम्बिनेशन। फिर आपको परम्यूटेड कॉम्बिनेटेड शक्कर वाली रस पीने की क्या जरूरत है इतने पैसों के?
Is the nostalgia trend. I myself have the 2016 trend and suddenly 1970s trend and all. I'm also drawn old movies, especially of Shashi Kapoor, like he's my. कह दूं तुम्हें क्या चुप रहूं जानूं गुरु तुमको मानूं चलो ये भी वादा है. First crush celebrity because he's exceptionally good looking and he's a lot like really interesting. We see how the dressing is happening. People are appreciating old buildings and all. So the reason for that is that in the olden there was something known as attachment, known as soul. Things weren't fast forward. They were slow paced. They were sustainable. They had meaning. There was a purpose. Beautiful godly values existed back. And that is the reason. So I don't believe this trend is bad. This is one of the few good trends which come in the market. We should also understand that we should be careful while following every trend, as I say always. Like there are bad things in every trend, and we should understand that now it's 2026. So now we should be living in the present. We can enjoy some things of the past, we reminiscence, but we should also move creation that. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. Do share your thoughts on these issues.